Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I'm aware that there are quite a few new people watching my channel, and as everything's actually going at the moment, normally I film earlier in the day when there's less racket and stuff moving about. But quite honestly, this environment here is as close to outside as I can get. It's let's have a look round. First thing, two large oscillating fans, which when the weather's warm like this are on the storm setting. They're not on hurricane yet. We haven't got that warm outside yet. But yeah, they, you know, under normal circumstances they're on setting 1 and they oscillate quite nicely and I get a breeze. When the temperature gets up like this, they go up a setting, which is a manual thing. Both of those are connected into a thermostat that comes on when the temperature reaches 23. Okay, so the full blast jobby doesn't happen unless the temperature starts to climb, and then it starts really moving the air around. I mean, it's nearly blowing me wig off here as it comes round. These two together are quite powerful, and it stirs the air up, so it sort of gets rid of hot spots, and the hot spot I really want to get rid of is in the roof, obviously. Hot air rises and all that sort of stuff. I've got two of these on the go. They're both on separate hydrostats, so when the humidity drops below a certain setting, they switch on. And when everything's running like it is now, they stay on because they can't keep up. We'll get to that in a minute. So there's a second one over here, again on a separate hydrostat. And the reason they can't keep up is up there. That is sucking the air out at a large rate of knots. And that takes the heat straight out of the roof. And again, it's on a thermostat. It kicks in when the temperature where the thermostat is reaches 27. And the thermostat for that is up in the roof. So the average temperature in here is really about 25.5, 26. But because the thermostat sensor is up in the roof, that's when that kicks on. And that goes as a pair, which you won't be able to see this very well because I've got loads of plants in the way. But down there is an inlet fan. Same size fan as the extractor up there, and they come on together. So that sucks in air from outside on the shady side of the grow room. Well, it's shady until very late afternoon anyway. So that's obviously the coolest air there is outside that I can suck in. And then the circulating fans blast that around, stir it all up, and it goes out there. Those two fans between them, combined with the circulating fans, probably change the air in here in between an hour and an hour and a half. Yeah, so the air is getting constantly changed. Yeah, so that's as near to outside air as I can get. And there's a few sneaky things going on as well, because I use these little 6-inch computer fans. Now they run 24/7. There's two up there. Where else have I got one? There's one down there in the corner. And then there's another 3 over here, one on each shelf, because these are where my cooler plants live. So they get a constant airflow. And in temperatures like now, it is cooler here. If I put the thermostat there with those little fans running, and the fact that they're away from the brightest light, it's 2 or 3 degrees lower in that area. So it's like a little microclimate in there for the cooler growers. There's also cooler growers on the lowest shelves over here, because they get the blast from the inlet fan, so they're kept a bit cooler as well. So that's the way the environment works in here. It is automated. The only thing that isn't automated, quite honestly, is the setting on these fans. The thermostat switches them on, but I decide, you know, whether they're on 1, 2 or 3 basically. I think I've only ever had them on 3 once, and all the plants started flying all over the place. 2's plenty. So that's how the environment works out here. It is automated to a great extent, and it means I can walk away. when it's really hot like this, I've just soaked the floor. I do that 5 litres at a time. Yeah, that's 5 litres of water I've just thrown all over the floor. And you can see within 5 minutes already starting to dry over there. That bit of floor is right in line with the inlet fan. Yeah, so that's pulling in air from outside that's at a much lower humidity. Yeah, so it dries that bit of the floor quite quickly. And that 5 litres of water, it's, what is it now? It's just gone 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's the 5th time I've soaked this floor today. It is a hot day today, and the sun's been out constantly on the glass. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the kit. That's how the environment works. And on a day like today, as I've said, it's as near to outside as I can actually get without putting the plants outside. They've got their shade netting to keep the direct sun off, so it's nice and filtered. And as the sun moves, the little spots that come through the holes never stay still. They're always on the move, so there's no hot spots on the leaves. It's constantly moving through that shade netting. Yeah, so that's it. As automated as I can get it, and quite honestly it works pretty good. The manual side of things, these things when we get weather like this need filling up every morning, and they will empty during the day. They just about make it to the point where it starts to cool down in the evening, and then overnight the humidity in here rises considerably simply because the temperature drops back down again. So it works quite well, and I make sure the floor's wet in the evening, so you know, once everything starts shutting down, as it goes into the evening, the extractor and the inlet fan will turn off. They turn off first. The circulating fans stay on for a bit, and in the meantime, because the extractor and the inlet fan are off, the air stops getting changed, and the foggers do their job then and get the humidity back up to a good level to take the plants into, you know, overnight, so that they don't lose their humidity during the night time. It stays nice and humid in here overnight, up about 85%. The other morning I came out here it was 90. Yeah, so overnight that's okay. As long as I don't get condensation all over the plants, it's not that bad. Temperature doesn't drop down that much. So that's the kit, that's how it all works, and it allows me to walk away. I've still got to water the plants, that's still got to happen, but it allows me to be away without having to attend all the time. On a day like today, if I went out for the day, the humidity would drop down quite badly, simply because I wouldn't be able to wet the floor down at regular intervals. But I very rarely am out for a whole day. It's normally half a day at a time, so it's, you know, and we don't get weather like this all the time. I mean, this is unusual. And the garden could do with some rain, but that's another story. So that's how it all works, that's how it hangs together, and it took probably 2 years of chopping and changing and working and thinking about how to get it like this, because it used to get far too hot in here. And I had 3 circulating fans on the go, and it still got too hot. And the only answer was to suck the hot air out. So that's when I installed that thing. And then I thought, well, if I'm sucking the hot air out, where's it going to get its replacement air from? It's going to suck it out of the house. Well, that's all very well, but that's very dry in there. So I thought it's probably better to take some air in from outside. So that's when I put the inlet fan in. And then I decided that, especially in the summer months, even at night, it doesn't get cold in here. And I thought it might pay to just keep that air moving 24/7. So that's when I thought about getting the little computer fans. I mean, they run off 12 volts. There's a normal mains adapter up there that brings the 240 volts down to 12 volts. And then I just run speaker wire around to run them. The amount of power that the adapter puts out is 3 amps, and those are 0.3 amps. So, you know, I can run probably 10 without anything starting to heat up, and I've got 6, so I'm not overloading anything, and they use virtually no power because they're running on 12 volts. So they can sit there 24/7, year round, and just keep the air moving around gently. Just stops it settling anywhere, and it stops me getting any really bad cold spots or really bad hot spots or dry spots or damp spots, even at night. It's just that gentle bit of movement, so it works quite well. So that's it, that's the kit, an update on the kit, and come autumn, you know, when the nighttime temperatures change, this will all change round. So as we head in towards the winter months, this kit completely changes. So this is the warmer weather kit. See you next time.